Hello everybody, Joe here from SHUTTERSPEAK Photography. Today I'm going to step you through editing a portrait using Luminar 4. Let's get started. Okay, so I'm here in Luminar 4.2. I have a portrait up on the screen that we're going to edit. So let's see how Luminar 4 does handling this portrait. So first step is I'm going to create a new adjustment layer. And Luminar works on that for a second, and there we go. And I'm going to come down here to the Portrait tab, or perhaps Luminar will crash. Alright, let's try that again. Luminar 4. So, just in fairness, that doesn't happen often in Luminar. It's probably one of the first times I've seen it crash on me, but you know what, it happened, so I'm going to leave it in the video. Alright, so let's try it again. Let's create a new adjustment layer. And I'm going to go here to the Portrait tab. And I'm going to use the AI Skin Enhancer. I'm going to click the defect removal. This takes a couple of seconds to work. There it goes. Okay. And now I'm going to pull this slider way up and let it do its magic there. And I'm going to apply the shine removal as well. And that looks nice. Next step, down to the AI Portrait Enhancer. The face light will relight the image. Not something that I really want to do with this image. It's already on the high key side, so I'm going to leave it as is. Red eye removal, we don't have any of that, but it would darken the pupils and remove red eye. Eye whitening, go easy with this one. Maybe a 9 or 10 for this image, maybe even a little bit less. Let me show you what this does when we bring it all the way up. It gets a very spooky kind of look to it, so let's keep this way down. Maybe, yes, let's go for like 5. 5 looks good. Eye Enhancer works real well. This applies some sharpening and a little bit of lightening to the eyes to make them pop a little bit. I really like the slider, so give that a little bit more. Dark circle removal, that will remove any circles underneath the eyes, but we don't have a problem with that photo here, so we're going to leave this off. Slim face, I'll show you what it does, but we're not going to apply it. It's just going to narrow the face, but I'm not going to apply that. That's kind of a touchy subject with people, so when you do things like that, maybe you might want to ask a client first, if it was for a client, whether they wanted those types of adjustments made. Some people will say, give me the works, make me look 20 years younger. Other people, they kind of find it to be a little bit disturbing. So just use your best judgment there. Enlarging the eyes, same thing. We're doing alterations to a person's natural look, but you know, it can do a nice job in balancing the face, and this feature does work real well. So you see how it works there. Maybe just we'll put a little bit of a touch in there, but I kind of like this just the way it is. Improving the eyebrows, this works. It just gives a little darkening and sharpening to the eyebrows, and you see that works real well. It pops the eyebrows. Some lip saturation, always nice, and make it a little more red, and then some darkening. Okay, so that looks fantastic right there. So you see this does a real nice job. And sounds like some people beeping a horn outside. I don't know if you can hear that on the video. Alright, so from there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to layers again, and I'm going to create a new adjustment layer. And I'm going to take the blend mode of this, and I'm going to put it into screen. And now I'm going to take another new adjustment layer, and I'm going to put this into multiply. And now I'm going to set these both to Luminosity Mask. And it's going to take a few moments for the Luminosity Mask to be created. And once it's done, you'll see this bar will go away, and you'll see the mask apply here into the adjustment layer. And it should pop in there in a second, and there it is. And the same thing here, let's apply a Luminosity Mask. Now, I'm not really sure why Luminar does this. I guess their thought is this is helping you, but when you go from a layer above to a layer below, many times it shuts off the layer above. That could be helpful in some situations, and in other situations like this one, it's not. So you got to remember to turn that layer back on, because we want both of these layer modes. Basically what we're doing is we're doing a little bit of a cheat, dodge, and burn here. So let's just look at what we've done so far. So that's our before and our after. And now what we can do here is on this screen layer, we can go here to AI Skin Enhancer, and again we'll apply the shine removal, and you see once again that lower layer got disabled, or maybe it's the layer above. So it's really hard to tell what effect this is having, so I got to turn that back on. Okay, so there we go. And again, it shuts it off. I could fight with that all day long. It's just going to keep doing it. So you're going to have to kind of guess and bounce back and forth between the layers. But again, we can kind of control things by just going into the screen layer and just bringing down that shine a little bit. We could also bring light and bring exposure down a little bit as well. And then go back here, turn on the other layer. That actually did a little bit too much, so let's bring that exposure back to layers, turn that back on. Okay, now I want to get rid of this stray hair here and a couple of these stray hairs, so let's fix these up. I'm going to create a new stamped layer, and that's going to merge the 3 layers that we worked on below, adjustment layer 1, 2, and 3, and the background layer as well, into one stamped layer. And from there we're going to try and remove the stray hairs using the erase tool, and if necessary maybe clone and stamp. So we're now on the stamped layer. So let's go ahead and open up Canvas and select Erase. Luminar loads in the Erase tool set, and you'll see it appear in the bar up above the image. Whenever you load in a tool set in Luminar, generally any options for that tool set always appear in the bar above the image, so you're going to have to look for them there. And you see the right side bar goes away in this particular instance, really cluing you in that you need to use the tools up above at this point. So I'm going to zoom in a little bit. That's good, to 100%. And we're going to use a small brush here. And we're going to make some very, very small changes, doing just a little section at a time. And we'll see how Luminar handles this. And hit the erase. So far, so good. And there we go. A little bit more. Needs a little work there. Let's try and get it up to the hairline. I don't want to touch the hairline because it's going to create a little bit of weirdness in there. So, and again, you see that's not so great, but we might be able to touch that up. So we'll come back to that. Okay, let's continue with the erase. Again, trying not to touch the hairline. And last one. And that got a little too close to the hairline. Let's see if we can touch that up. And that's better. Okay. So it's not perfect, but it's not horrible. We could later go with the clone stamp tool and clean that up a little bit, but I think what we're going to see here, once the portrait goes back into the fit screen mode when we're not zoomed in, these things really aren't going to be very noticeable, and you see they're cleaning up pretty nice by just going over them again. So that looks good. Okay, so from here, let's try and get rid of this stray hair here. So I'm going to go a little at a time, and I'm going to take it section by section. So you see how we have a change there in the tones. So that's why I'm stopping at that point. And we're going to continue through this section here. And that's not perfect, but still pretty good. And finish that up. And there we go. Let's try and get rid of this one here. We'll see how this does. Again, I'm going to take it by section. Just want to keep those straight hairs so that this doesn't look out of place. We don't want Luminar to make anything that's not a straight line because it's going to look very much out of place. And that's pretty good. And see how that goes. And let's just finish this right there. And pretty good. All right, we got a bigger one here we're going to get rid of really quick. So let's just, again, same thing. One section at a time seems to work best. If I did a big swoop, we may get curvature in the hairline. And once you do that, things really look out of place real quick. Taking a big section there. I think Luminar is going to be able to handle this though, because we have a little bit of a blur in the background there with that section of hair. Okay, that's perfect. So that did a pretty decent job. We have one stray hair on the face here. Very hard to notice though, but we could clean that up. Let's see how that goes. And that one, not so good. Maybe I took that a little bit too big in the sectioning there. And again, we can clean it up though. I don't think I'm going to clean the whole thing up because just for the purposes of keeping the video short. But you see this is fixable, but that's just, like I said, it really pays to just keep it in small sections. So let's see how Luminar handles that. And pretty good. All right, so I'm going to say done. Of course, you could clean this up a little bit more if you have the time, but for the purposes of, again, keeping the video short, we'll just leave it at that. And now Luminar is applying those changes across the board that we made. Unfortunately, there's no stepping back in Erase, and that's a feature that really needs to be added into Luminar, because if you make a mistake and it doesn't look good, there's no stepping back. And that's just maybe something that can be added down the road by Skylum in a future release of Luminar. You see, you can see this is visible here now. Again, if there was a step back, I would have just stepped back and took that out. Unfortunately, there is not. Let's go back to layers. Again, we can go here on the stamp layer back to portrait, and we can apply that shine removal again. It looks like things got a little bit shiny, but that's the beauty of this. We can just keep applying these tools layer by layer until we get things the right way. Okay. Again, let's maybe take down the highlights just a little bit here. Oof, that's too much. Okay, so let's take this to a point where we think it looks nice on the face, and then we're going to now just simply brush this in. Okay. So here we are. That looks good. And now let's brush this change in just to the face. Okay, let's take a look at the mask where it's applied right there. Fix that up. There we go. And pretty decent job. Let's take a look at the before and after. Oops, I'm sorry. Let me say done first. So here's the before. And here's the after. Before. After. Pretty decent job overall by the AI. But overall, Luminar does a good job. The AI Enhance works really well, especially the AI defect tool here in Skin Enhancer. The AI Skin defect removal, that works real nice. So there you have it. So hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching. I hope you found that video helpful. If you did, please help me out and hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video, and ring the bell so you get notified of future videos. Leave me a comment and let me know your thoughts, and I will see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.